Hi, beautiful ones, and this week's reading, surprise, surprise, is all about the eclipse and just has a little bit of insight into this huge portal. And I know it always seems as though there's this week there's a portal, or this, here's the opportunity for you to live your dream. But it's true. And each one is greater than the one before. So it's like, this is it. And then, no, this is it. This is it. So I can't really say anything more than this is it. I've never felt it more strongly. And so get on board and see how you can transition out. It's kind of like into darkness and then out into light, into not knowing, stepping through that door into the dream. This is what this week is all about. Lots and lots of love. See you in a second. Hi everyone, and welcome to a little bit of a different reading. Unconditional love. Masculine, feminine reading for this week. I am very, very excited to record this because I've been feeling this evening candlelit reading for a long while, and have been kind of waiting for it to happen. I was like, well, why isn't it? It's not this. No, it's not this week. It's not this week. And I'm back to the steady recording. Have a new tripod. So it didn't happen last week, but it's happening this week. And then I realised why, and it's because of this big eclipse, the darkness. So this is why this week we've got the darkness and we have this candle. And the crystal that I wanted to have some fun with, this is not the best light. But this is, if I put it near the candle, no. Basically it's a turquoise crystal, which reminds me of the sea. And this is the crystal that I wanted to be here. But then I was thinking about what actually happens during an eclipse, because we call it an eclipse of the sun. It's an eclipse of the sun, but it's the shadow of the moon. So it's, in a way, the aggressor, in a way, is the moon. And so if we can call the moon feminine, it's about the feminine casting the shadow upon the sun. And I felt like when I was kind of setting out the layout here, I put the candle up here and the little crystal down here, and I was like, oh, this is the sun and here's the moon, I didn't do it deliberately, but that's kind of what happened in this kind of alignment. And so that's how it is going to be. And I have a lot of things coming through already about this eclipse. This is a really huge opportunity, massive, cannot put this across more strongly, to switch into a completely different timeline. It's as though that period of darkness and then coming into the light is like the turning over of a page, or a sleep into a new day. So it's an opportunity to completely transform your experience. But it does require that you are in a position and completely open and okay and embracing, with a complete and utter letting go of doesn't existness of the past. this is, you know, and it's a portal, yes. We're going to use that term of stepping into everything that you desire. There is also something about the feminine casting the shadow upon the masculine. So, or putting him into the dark, or stopping him from shining. This, not in a negative way. Because sometimes we just don't realise our brightness, or we don't realise our freedom until it's kind of taken away. And we know it's just temporary. But there is this kind of idea and feeling that the feminine is making herself known in a very, very big way for the masculine. It's like, well, you can't ignore me now, can you? Because I'm right in front of you. But there's this alignment, this direct alignment, and we're, you know, we're here, you know. So, you know, it's just a lovely, isn't that just, I don't know if people are like me. I know people watch me and follow me, and I've got a bit kind of freewheeling with the way I've been recently, but I like things being, you know, I like things being in alignment, you know, and it feels nice, and it's one door closing and another opening. It's really what it is. It's a very sacred, magical space. And so I'm really excited to see what comes up. Okay. Split the deck and see what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh, okay. This. Bottom of the deck. Hopefully you can see 10 of Pentacles. So, this is another reiteration of how powerful this eclipse is in terms of achieving your full desire. This whole spectrum of light in this rainbow. It's really about experiencing everything, and it's a huge, huge surge forward into that. I was have been out of action for a week. I had this migraine, which I've never had like this before, which basically meant that I couldn't move, and there was nothing I could do to kind of get rid of it either. And there were things that I knew I could do, but they weren't available. It was just kind of life saying, no, you're just going to really not do anything for a week, which is very, very difficult for me, especially when I feel like there's so much work for me to do. But what's happening now is I feel this huge surge forward. Huge surge towards this kind of expansiveness. And if you're watching this, there's a huge amount of power and energy that's surrounding you and supporting you right now. The 11/11 readings that are still available that I'm doing for the month of August, they're for $11.11. They're very quick, one card, audio recorded readings I send to you. You ask me one question. I've been doing these this week, and, well, really one day that I was able to do them, which was lucky. But what I noticed is that so many major arcana cards were coming up. I think 60 or 70%. You know, in the major arcana, there are 22 major arcana cards. Kind of 24, because I have the extra ones. But it's kind of 22. in the 80 card deck. So that's like, it's just over 25%. What's that, 26, 27, something like that percent. So when it's at 50 or 60 or 70, this is not probable. And it's saying that there's some really big stuff going on. And there is. And so if you're here, it's like there's a huge amount of energy. It's waiting to burst through. This is what I feel. So there's going to be this kind of, there's this build up and this darkness, and the light is ready to burst through in a completely different way. It's like we are stepping into a different world, and you get to choose what that world is. This isn't a time to be focusing upon what you do not want. There are things going on in the mainstream media and in life and scary things, but they are there for you to clarify what you do want. So if you observe conflict, your desire is for peace. So it's like, great, peace, inclusiveness, togetherness, oneness, whatever you want, love, being together. It's a big, big time now to hone in on your desire. And this card is saying, it's here. Everything that you want. But there are 10 cups here. 10 cups. What do you want to put in those 10 cups? Make sure you know. This is a bit of a heads up. Make sure you know so that you can then step into that and be ready for that. And I keep hearing and getting this idea of like sacred space. When the eclipse is happening, it's a sacred space. So honor that sacred space. Honor that time. Take that time out if you can to do something. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether you can observe the eclipse or not. Just take that space and take that time to honor, I want to say nature, because it's quite an magical, strange time. There was an eclipse here in the UK not that many years ago. I was quite young. And so I remember what that felt like. And it's kind of feels supernatural, feels unnatural in a way, because it's daytime and it's night. So the animals and the feeling is just very, very strange. And so whether you're in an area where you can see it or not, it's important that you just honor that space, because it is a magical time. And it's a time for stepping through one door into another. And this message here is a big invitation for you to do that. This is the main gist of this week's message. But let's get some clarity about what's going on with the masculine and the feminine.